Hello there, my name is Aaron and I like to make things out of old toys and model kits. And you join me as I take apart an old toy I bought from the thrift store. I've no idea what it is. I think part of the toy was missing when I bought it, but I do believe I can work with what I have. So you know what that means. Let's start scratching that build. So I have two halves of one toy and I'm just deciding on which one I'll use, and while I decide, it'll give you enough time to like and subscribe to this channel. Shameless request, I know, but I really would like to keep the subs coming. I finally make a decision and decide that I'm going to go with this one, so all I'll do is glue the legs into position. A water pistol is cut down using my new, equally as scary cutting thing. The reason I'm a bit scared of this is because I had a wheel fly off months ago and the blade is a bit attached into my safety glasses. So thank God I was wearing PPE. No, you're not going crazy. I actually cut out two of the water pistol bits at the same time. So one's green, that's in the background, and that one's blue. I'm just trying to see if it could make some sort of body. Still undecided of the body shape. I find this a spare spray bottle top that actually fits in the gap just nicely. So I'm gonna go with that instead. At first I was going to make this into a walker tank, but remembered I had some leftover tank tracks from one of my model kits, and with a little nip and tuck they should work. There'll be a gap at the top, but I can probably cover that up easily, he says. Now I know this isn't going to look like a traditional tank, and that's because this is going to be like a futuristic concept tank. So the treads are going to look like that, so there's going to be no additional wheels or anything. So I just wanted it to look different than just like a normal tank. So I'm just going to glue these tracks down. A part from a old model tank is going to be cut down and placed on top of the toy to start building out the body. I'll use some styrene cut-offs to cover some of the dead empty space on either side of the tank. I have an empty Yakult bottle. I'll add some heat shields to the end to make it look like an exhaust. For all those who don't know what a Yakult bottle is, it's a liquid that has some of those friendly bacteria stuff that you drink every day, and it makes your guts nice and clean, allegedly. I don't know, because I don't check my guts every day. Yeah, moving on. So the bottle, which has now become an exhaust, is glued into place. A piece of an old toy is glued to the front to start bulking that out. I have no idea where this came from. I have no idea what toy it came from, but god damn it, it looks cool. A fidget toy is strategically placed underneath the tank from the exhaust to what is supposedly the engine, just to sort of bulk out the underneath of the tank. Even though you're not really going to see it, there'll be something there. So if your eye catches it, at least you'll be able to see there is something underneath this tank. Then it was finally time to add the spray bottle lid. I just added some little styrene to either side to make it look like some sort of weapon. Another toy bit from, I don't know, an old toy that I've dismantled in my past life probably, is added because I thought it looked like a radiator. So god damn it, I'm going to stick it right there. Then it was just a matter of adding more bits from model kits to try and bulk out the tank. I finally managed to get to my local model shop and bought these kits that were cheap and cheerful. So it's just a matter of snipping away bits from the sprues to add to my tank. Then it was just a matter of spending an awful long time of an evening just applying bits and pieces of model kits to my tank. This is a bit of sprue that came from one of those model kits, and it was an unusual shape to see, so I just cut it out, sanded it all down and added it to my tank. I have the insides of another spray bottle that I'm going to use as probably the start of a cannon or laser beam or something. So with adding more bits and pieces from the model kits, this is what I'm left with so far. And it's starting to take shape. Oh yeah, remember the water pistol bit that I cut off at the start of the video? That's going to get added next. So it's on the turntable, which means that is what the tank's going to look like, and I'm going to prime it next. So while that goes off to get primed, if you want to leave a comment and I reply to everyone, then leave this code word at the start of your comment so I know you got here before skipping to the glamour shots. And the code word is Muddy Waters. Also, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps it out immensely. Thank you. I had some miniature figures in one of the kits that I thought would look kind of cool to try and incorporate it into my build, so I'm just going to give them a quick makeover. While they dry, there is my dried futuristic tank that I'm going to spray with a tan colour, because I'm kind of going to put it in some well, you know, I was undecided. Okay, I'm trying to give it the big licks here, but I had no real idea what colour I wanted to do, but I just thought I'd paint it this colour to make it look like it looks like it's in the desert. But then when I did the diorama, I did a muddy colour, so yeah, go figure. Anyway, I'm painting it this colour. And I've also just realised that this spray gun, which is Cheap and Cheerful spray gun, has been in loads of videos and I've never given it a name. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to name the airbrush. Maybe you can suggest a name for it, so leave it in the comments. I'd like to say that I'm going to use a different colour simply because I wanted the tank to look two-toned, but that's not the fact. The fact is I ran out of the sand colour, so I'm going to have to paint this and then try and weather it down later on in the build. Yeah, there we go. Running out of paints halfway through you're doing a paint job. Fantastic. Some of the plastic must have had my greasy paw prints on it because it was rubbing off, so instead of trying to paint back over it, I embraced the fact that it was a poor paint job and made it look like chipping. There we go. There is no happy accidents. No, that's wrong. There is no bad accidents, only happy accidents, or whatever, Bob Ross. I got bored using my fingers, so decided to use my hobby knife, and yes, this is the incorrect way to do chipping, but hell, it works. So I'm just fully embracing the fact that I'm terrible at chipping. Because of my terrible slapdash airbrush work, I go back in with a black to paint the tank treads. Then with a little green I'll add some detailing, so I'm just going to add some bits to the piping and stuff like that. On the water pistol bit it had some letters, so instead of me hiding the letters, I'm going to embrace it and just try and crudely paint the letters so they stand proud. Then I'll add some decals to the tank. This is not the way how to do them. Having watched many videos on how to apply decals, you're supposed to leave the backing on and gently slide it off, but because I have monkey hands, I just slapdash things on left, right and centre. And holy moly, I have a futuristic sci-fi tank that is all painted up, which is looking a bit drab because it's time for weathering. So what I'm going to do is use some of the powder weathering and then add some water just to dilute it down and slap it onto the tank. No, quite literally, I am going to slap it on the tank. First part is the, well, what I refer to as the bird poo streaking. I'm just going to dab it on and then streak it down with a dry brush. I'll then go in with a pokey ear stick just to take the excess of the weathering powders off the tank. Then I'll add some panel liner to bits of the tank just to try and highlight some of the cool details. I want to make a base to show off the tank, and that is all-purpose filler or grout, or as the American viewers know as spackling. It's smooth, so I'm just going to use my fingers just to smear it all over the ceiling tile. That, yes, again, regular viewers will know the ceiling tiles come from the bathroom. Once that had dried, I put some Vallejo scenic mud down onto the tile, and then I'm just going to go in and spray the XPS boulders, or whatever they want to be, rocks, with black before going in with some grey. I'm going to use my homemade black wash just to try and tone down the grey of the rocks. I'm going to crudely try and make a little water feature there just to try and break up a lot of the brown texture. So all you can see is my hairy monkey hand at the moment. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen, that is a terrible shot, so let's just move on. That's better. I'm dropping some darker blue in now just to try and, well, that is, I'm running out of paint. I'm having to order some more paint. So this is the last barrel of everything of the paint. But this is the ink that I'm going to mix with the UV resin to hopefully give it that sort of watery look. Spoiler alert, it doesn't look like water in the end, but hey, there we go. So I'm just mixing this up and I'll throw it into my little pond. It was at this point I realized I hadn't checked to see if there was going to be any gaps in the bricks. Luckily there was no gaps on the side, but it spilled out onto the actual diorama base, which I quickly covered over with some more mud. I'll use my crime scene investigation light, which is UV obviously, just to cure the resin, and I work out that the only crime committed here was the actual diorama. Making a bad job even worse, I'll add some of this water texture to the top of it, which didn't do anything at all. So yeah, it kind of worked but didn't, so that was a fail. But I suppose I like to leave these failures in my builds just so then you know that everything isn't perfect and things do go wrong. I named the two men Harry and Roger. Harry's the one shouting at his mate to get a move on. I'll add a little more bits to the back of the tank before seasoning the base with some dried herbs. That's basically it, really. The glamour shots I'm going to film next, but you won't know that because it will just seamlessly move into the glamour shots. So all that's left for me to say is thanks for stopping by. Please like, subscribe. Remember to leave a comment. Remember to try and name the airbrush. And until next time, glamour shots are next, but keep scratching that build, everyone. Thanks for watching.